So this is Xaoslegend's second SCR draft. Let's see how things go. So here we've got an interesting pack. I really like Fate Stitcher, but I also like Ranger Vios, especially he's especially good in white-green or blue-white. So you can go get something like a Cross and Squire, or if you're blue-white, you can get the artifact 1/1s that become 2/2s, or a wild Nacatl in red, green, white. So it's always pretty good. I look up what things are worth sometimes. Helps make a decision for me. If something's over like $4, I'm just gonna take it regardless. Especially in a Swiss, because that's like a free round, right? I don't think Ranger Vios is worth anything though. No, it's like 35 cents. It's pretty much nothing. But he's a little more interesting than some other cards. So I'll go ahead and take him. And here we've got the excellent Agony Warp. Seaside Citadel. Agony Warp, it's one of my favorite cards to get early. I love blue-black. It's either Esper or blue-black aggro, or Grixis is okay. But it's just for 2 mana, you can't get a better card than that. Here we got a Jund Charm, which is kind of can't really take that unless we really want to switch our colors. We got a lot of green and crap here. Got the Resounding Silence. Elvish Visionary is decent. Jessian Infiltrator is good if you're in that color, but you don't really want to play Bant. I don't think I've been successful yet trying to play Bant in this format, so probably just take this Resounding Silence. It's fine. It's a good removal card. Gets rid of anything. It's a little slow. And if we ended up going 5 color, then Resounding Silence becomes really good. And here, there's nothing too exciting for our first few picks. If we want to stay in white, we can only really take Excommunicate or the Windwright Mage to try and force Esper. Windwright Mage, for whatever reason, seems to be almost better than it used to be. Just the racing situations, it becomes more critical. Though it's still not very good. I mean, you still want to get it more like 8th or 10th or 11th pick, and if you have a lot of really good playables, you may not even play it. So yeah, I went ahead and took that, and then alright, yeah, Sanctum Gargoyle. So that's pretty late Sanctum, pretty late Nacatl too, which would have fit with the Ranger Vios, but there's a lot of Esper in there. Okay, so here, that's a really late Drum Hunter too. So whoever's on our right is probably just a really bad drafter. But he's certainly passing some really quality stuff. And given my druthers, I guess I'll pick up the Esper over the Naya stuff. Sculptor, if you have a lot of artifact creatures, is really good. If you don't, then he becomes pretty mediocre. Alright, that's a really late Deft Duelist, and Fleshbag Marauder, and Bone Splinters. So yeah, I mean, the Esper is clearly coming through more. Poor players tend to play, red, green, white more. Not that good players don't play them, but if you get this kind of like super high quality stuff coming through, generally you want to stick to a shard, and the best shard is going to be probably Esper. And of course, you just evaluate what comes to you. But Deft Duelist is really good. I like it better than the Marauder. The Edict effect is nice, but they can sack anything. And the Deft Duelist just owns the ground. kills all the blades, at least trades with them. The one flies over, but it doesn't block. The flyer doesn't block the Death Duelist. Nothing exciting here. Just go with the Cycler. Nothing exciting again. We don't really want someone in Bant. Wave Skimmer Avon sharing 2 of our colors. So go ahead and take that out. Want the guy on our left to be in Naya. And here, Relic or Steelclad. I like the Relic more. It works better with Windwright, and Steelclad's just friggin' slow. Coma Veil sometimes if you need some cards to put in your deck. Can make the cut. I'm not a huge fan of it though. I mean, for the mana, it should be like enchant permanent and tap it when it comes into play. Okay, yeah. Now I'm looking up Thornling. He's gotten really popular lately in Constructed. So he's good against the Jund decks, or in the Jund decks. And yeah, he's 550. Yeah, sure, I'll pick him up. Pays for more than a pack. Yeah, unfortunately, we have to pass the drag down and the parasitic Strix and stuff like that, but yeah. And now foil Path to Exile. At least this one I can play in my deck. So go ahead and look that up again. Path to Exile is really popular, being the new swords and everything. I actually don't think it's that amazing in these formats, especially when people are playing 4 or 5 colors, because you path one of their aggressive guys and they get their 5th color or 4th color, and that's just not that great. But it's certainly not bad, and it's really good late game. Of course, then its mana cost isn't great either. It's like, okay, I only had to pay 1 for it. Late game, wouldn't have minded paying more. Anyway, it's a good card. Cormorant's pretty good. Outlander's good. Nothing else to really think about. Cormorant's, very solid. I like the Outlander too, but Cormorants definitely go higher. The Outlander's much more likely to wheel. Starting to load up on 4 drops, which is unfortunate. So here we've got a Parasitic Strix and a Hominoculus and a Drag Down. So I'll probably take the Drag Down here. This is almost like the pack I opened. It's got, it had Drag Down, Hominoculus, and Strix, and the Rupture Spire that I can remember. Let's see, here it went from a whole bunch of stuff we wanted to not much. Traumatic Visions is pretty good though. Someone plays a random late game bomb in their 5-color deck, and you haven't cycled your visions and you counter it. So here we've got a Zombie Outlander, a Banquet, Cumberstone. I like the Outlander probably best. I'm not really focusing on blue-white or blue-black here. Kind of spread out. So those guys are all good for stopping, especially, Outlander's really good against stopping weaker decks from overrunning you. Oh, and there's another one. But the Gargoyle's definitely better, so I'm going to go with the Gargoyle. But yeah, just a lot of playables in our colors, so we sent good signals in the first pack. And Esper's just, not that attractive to a lot of the players in these Swiss drafts. Fairy Mechanist is fine. Gleam of Resistance is good too. Go ahead and go with the Mechanist, even though I don't know if we have really enough artifacts to make it great. But and maybe another Land Cycler would have been good. But if we have things like Court Hominoculus, we're going to want to... so we don't need another 4-drop here, because we have a lot of 4-drops now.